What's up everyone? In this video we're going to be doing the S.H.Figuarts Kind-Hearted Saiyan Son Goku. This figure looks really cool. I'm excited to do this review. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, drop a comment, let me know what you think about this figure at the end of the video, and let's just jump right on into it.
Alright, so my first impressions are this figure is beefy. He's got that nice Dragon Ball Z buff look where he's like, yeah, I'm yoked.
Check the pecs.
Been hitting the weights, hitting the bench. The figure itself has a really nice feel. The plastic feels almost like a soft rubber, but it's dense. As they call the diaper, or I call the booty area, is, you know, it's a rubber piece too. And overall, it has a good look to it. So I'm pretty like, wow, this is pretty neat right out of the box. So now it leads me into articulation, and I want to start with the head. And it does not have a very good up look, but it has a pretty good down look. Reason being is because the neck peg goes in a hole in the back of the head right here, which I find to be a very, very odd design choice. But now we're going to move on to the arms. This is like probably my favorite part so far, is they feel really good. They feel really, really good. They have a nice bend here. This rubber gi part helps, and it's got a nice rotation. The joints feel really, really, really solid. Like they don't feel like they're going to blow out anytime soon. The wrists feel great. The wristbands, they spin around, so they might probably like slide off, but they actually spin around. It's pretty nice. Wrist movement is the same on most Goku figures, and both arms they feel great. And all right, now we're gonna move on to the ab crunch, which is really good. Really, really good. It's a different design than what we're accustomed to. It has this little peg and thing right in there, which is kind of odd to me, but it does give it some dynamic range. It feels pretty good. It just, we'll get to later what I feel about it, but it does cause some gapping back here if you're doing some like deep poses, which we'll see later too. And now onto the legs. It has a good splits. About there's a limitation. Make sure that this piece right here goes underneath the diaper. When I first got it out, it caught. I was doing stuff like that. And then you got the knees, which only bend to about there, but they're okay. And it's a newer design, so you got that instead of like sorry, I hit the camera. Instead of that joint in there that has two pivot points here and here, they just did it right there as like one big piece. And then we're gonna move on to the ankles, which is probably a weird idea for me, but I'm not totally sold on it, but it does that. And I find that to be odd. I feel like that's going to be a stress point in the future, so I just don't I mean, it's whatever. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I just find it odd. And then the ankles, they're really loose on mine, like, and same with the toes. So I've noticed I've had some issues with him standing and doing certain things. Like this one came out of the box really wildly. And that's the articulation for the figure. It's not too bad. The figure does have like a nice feel, like I said. All right, and we're gonna do a real quick comparison of the older S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan God and the new Kind-Hearted Saiyan. You know, it's obviously miles difference. And the key differences are the molds, and the look is just, this looks insanely better than this. Like, I grabbed this for this comparison and I was immediately like, whoa, this looks kind of like ancient, old. I'm glad they're redoing this figure because this hair is just ugly. I always thought it was ugly. It's like shiny and glossy in a bad way. The eyes look like they're painted poorly, but I do like it how it has the shading and stuff for the red, but you can just see the difference. Skinnier. Obviously, Super Saiyan God was naturally skinnier, but one thing I did notice is Goku looks like he's got like a stuffed down neck, and so that's what it is. The peg back there kind of can crunch and make him look like he's like shrugging. But overall, this figure being modern just looks so much better. It still looks way different, especially around the diaper area. This one has, you know, those kinds of leg joints. This one has that newer one. I like the newer one. This one's not bad, but like, see the range of motion real quick. Almost the same, but you know, it's whatever. But you don't have, with these, you don't have this ugly like knee piece that sticks out like that. And so there's some of the key differences there, along with the crotch and booty area. This one has like those sliding plastic pieces So when you do stuff, it slides around. It does the splits just as well, but you have to finagle a little bit. And these plastic pieces kind of look weird. Whereas this one gives you the whole, you know, this piece is rubber, like a soft rubber, and you can still do the thing. And then it has this pivot point right here too, inside there, so you can turn it right there. Whereas this one has one higher up right here and right there. But you know, those are the differences. I figure is older, this one's brand new. Sculpt wise, this one's superior, super buff, super yoked, straight out of the 90s. Posing wise is awesome, but you know, each one in their forms has their limitations or their downplay. I wonder why this one doesn't have, you know, the insignia on it. Could it be that this is supposed to be from a version where it doesn't have that? I've watched the show a million times and I can't even remember. So here's the differences, here's the comparison, and you can see why this one is just really nice. Both were the same price though, and this one's like years old, but it's not too bad. The figure does have like a nice feel, like I said, but now I want to go on into details, and the details are, they look really good, like all the clothing lines and the gi and everything. And right here it has like the press lines. It really looks like a good Goku figure, and it's eye appealing. Like it's got that stature, like he's just, you know, big buff Dragon Ball Z Goku. But before I get into poses and photos, I'm keeping this one a little short because the details are kind of the same on most Gokus. The muscle definition is pretty nice. A cool thing you can do with the customization is come in here with like a yellow or a light brown marker and fill in those lines to get like a nice shaded definition, and then you can top coat it, which will knock out the shine. Some things I wanted to point out. I would say this in my final thoughts, but the final thoughts I want to keep real quick. But I really have issues with all these gaps. I mean, there's a nice butterfly joint. Is that a butterfly joint for this? Because this is a new shoulder system.
Butterfly in the sky.
But I mean, it still is very dynamic, but it has this key, and there's just a lot of gapping. Same thing with here, there's some gapping. I mean, like, let's throw them in a pose real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. But it could be like this, and you can't see it, right? That's cool. It poses really well, but if you turn around, there's some gapping. Some people aren't going to be bothered with that because you can't see it, but to me, just, it's weird. And then sometimes like that wants to get hung up right there like that. So you have to come back here and, I mean, I kind of forced it right there for the video, but, and then, you know, that's just kind of that. It does have a swivel point in there that I forgot to discuss, but you know, this is kind of loose on there too, which is weird to me. And then my big two issues are my toes are blown out. My big two issues on here are the toes are really blown out and loose. Like, so if I wanted to do a pose where he needs to be like this, where that foot's like that, like doing some drunken boxing or something, I had a hard time standing because he kept falling over. And then the other one is I don't like that. This is like, why, like, chief complaint is, why did you do the neck peg like that? And we'll do a close-up right now to show. Because it totally, like, his neck only goes down like really cool, right? You can look down, great. You can do some like cool flying at you looking down poses, or if he's coming down at the person like that, but you can't look up. As soon as you look up, it comes right off. It's super weird. It's a kind of a pain to get back on there. You have to like almost take the faceplate off like this and put it back on. And I'm just like, why did Tamashii do that? Or Bandai, you know, the same thing, but see what I mean? Right out of the box, I had problems with this particular part, and I find it just borderline aggravating, and it's really sad because most of this figure is like got a cool, it's got a great feel, but just a lot of the design choices are kind of like, huh? And maybe I'm just being nitpicky, but I also am trying to be a little more critical because I'm a huge Goku fan. I could be totally biased and be like, I love this figure. It's great. It's the best thing in the world. It's cool, but I just feel like this neck peg just stinks. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Like, I don't know why to do that. See, I can't even get him to look up at all. So, but anyways, those are my big gripes, but we're gonna move on to poses and photos. we'll just show off some how, like, backgrounds are going to be whatever on this one, guys, but I'm just going to show how posable this guy is. It's really cool. Like, that's that cool thing about it. It's just posable. So let's get into that right now.
Okay, for this picture, I did a close-up of him doing like just kind of a natural Dragon Ball pose. Nothing crazy, nothing special. I did have other pictures, but I kind of accidentally deleted them before I actually came back and finished this video. I honestly started this video about 3 weeks ago, and I'm just finishing it right now. So, and then this picture, I really just wanted to do something where he's, you know, another one of those kind of natural Dragon Ball Z poses. And then in this photo, I did editing where he's charging up the Kamehameha. It's terrible. I did a terrible job, and all these photos kind of suck, but there's the photos. And this figure is really posable.
All right, my final thoughts is this figure overall is pretty decent. It's got the entry level price of $35, you know, basically 40 something with shipping. He's got a nice big imposing look. He's like the buff Goku, not like the Daima adult where he's a lot skinnier. This just has that nice cool Dragon Ball Z feel where he's like really stocky and stuff like that. Again, final thoughts, this neck peg and head is a terrible idea. I just don't like it. It really ruins it for me. Also, the toes on mine are just weird, and I don't really care for this feature, because I feel like that's gonna be a weak point later on down the road. Like, it helps with the posing, but I could do without it. And that's just me personally. I'm not trying to crap all over it. I know a lot of people love this figure. I love it too. I think it's cool. I love Goku, so it's going on the shelf. I'm not selling it. I'm happy with it. But it certainly has some design choices that I'm just like, I don't know if I like that too much, but there's nothing I can do. I paid for the figure, I got it. I'm like, cool. But I probably wouldn't have done that if I was the designer. I don't understand this peg back here. So to look down, great, but I need him to look up. And the arms system, the new system is cool. I think this is on the Cell Games one. I didn't open that one yet, so I never played with it. So overall, I'm seriously just gonna give this guy like it's a good figure. It's not perfect. It's not amazing. It's not awesome. I mean, it is awesome. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm gonna give this figure a real good 7.5 out of 10. We all know my number system's all over the place, but neck peg, totally not my thing. That's weird to me. And then my toes are whatever. I could complain about the gapping in here with posing, but I'm not really going to because whatever. But I do like the feel. I do like the look. I like that it's got like a new design and that they're improving on things. So, you know, I'm going to give it it's going to get a C plus or B minus, 7.5 out of 10. Just the net peg bothers the crap out of me. But the arms and the feel, totally redeeming. I can't believe I gave Goku a 7.5 out of 10. But anyways, if you haven't already, if I've earned it already, give me a like, drop a sub. Tell me what you think about the figure. Will you be picking this up? Or won't you be picking this up? Or are you going to give it a hardcore pass? But anyways, as always, stay frosty.